guys, so in this Devlog I'm going to be working more on my game Gunswinger, and I have a really cool idea for it, so stay tuned to see what it is. But let's get right into the video. So before we get into the video, I should probably explain what my idea is. So basically your character would have 3 health, and say if he loses that 3 health, instead of dying, his hat breaks. And the story of what actually happens is his hat has like a magical evil orb in it that he's trying to like get rid of. So when your hat breaks, it releases the orb, and then like the world gets flipped and turns into like, you get basically swapped into an alternate dimension, and then you have to fight your way out of there to like get another chance to keep going. But if you die there, you just die normally. So I added a ton of effects, probably too much, but it's time to show you how I did them. So the first thing I wanted to do for this new flip effect was, well, actually make it flip. So I added an animator to my camera and then just wrote the code and did the animations. So whenever it gets triggered, the camera will basically do a 360, and then I'm going to do tons of other effects. So that first one was pretty simple, but it gets a lot worse next. So the next thing I added was I wanted to make the ground go purple whenever like you died and like flipped, but I quickly ran into a problem where I was using a sprite shape renderer I was using sprite shapes, and I didn't know how to access those, so I had to go online and try and figure out how the hell did I access a sprite shape renderer from a script. And eventually I figured that out, and I just set the color to magenta because it was the only one there, and now it looks pretty good. But of course, it wasn't enough. I just had to go and add more effects. And I'm going to tell you right now, never try to make a fisheye lens without Googling it. Like, first I installed a high definition render pipeline, thinking that was what I needed. Was not, so then I had to go delete that after spending like 20 minutes installing it. Turns out I had downloaded the wrong package altogether and needed the post-processing package. So I went and downloaded that, and then spent 20 minutes figuring out why I couldn't make it work. And then once it finally worked, I gotta admit it was kind of worth it. So I was very pleased with how that looked. It looked pretty nice. But before I stopped coding for the day, I decided I'd wait to trigger it instead of just pressing F like I already was. So to do that, I'd have to add a health system, some health UI, and something to kill you. So there was still a good bit of coding left to do. So to make this health system, first I decided to do the actual coding part. So I went into my scripts and had to rework basically all of the code that involved activating the flip. So I made a value for the health, a value for the slider, which I'm going to use for the health bar later, and then I just made it whenever you collide with something called enemy, or something with the tag enemy, it will like take 1 from the health, and if the health gets below 1, it just calls the flip method that I had made. So next I just made the pixel art for the health bar. So I just made a border as one image and the fill as the other image. They're pretty basic. I'll probably redo them some other time, but they're okay for now. So once I had all those done, I just dragged them into Unity and got everything set up. Now the final step was so easy. This recording is going to be like 3 seconds long. I made a diamond. I gave it a box, and then I tagged it with enemy, and then it worked. That was it. And now, it's time for the final result. This took me so long, so make sure you like and subscribe.